One, two, three. Ah, there we go. Hi, guys. Hello, everyone. Where is everybody going? Guys, especially the young people, you guys need to stay for this one. So, hi, my name is Reagan. I host TRT World's climate change series called Just 2 Degrees. Look it up online on YouTube if you like, or go to TRT World's website. You guys know about the climate crisis. Obviously, we are, well, scientists say that we're in a dire situation. Things are happening that we don't fully understand, but they're happening at a pace that is beyond our control. Yes, of course. So before we begin, I have Artem here with me, Shestakov. He is a Ukrainian-born photographer with amazing photographs. Before I introduce him fully, just take a look at this. Okay, so I'm with Artem Shestakov. As I said, he's a photographer, but more specifically a fine art photographer. He's also a film producer and environmental advocate, rather. Artem, as we look at people get engrossed with the previous speakers, you said backstage that you hate people. All right, so put that aside. We won't psychoanalyze that. But let's put your hatred of people with respect to what's happening with our planet. Describe that hatred.
I mean, thank you so much for having me here. Very honored to be here at Next with young leaders, change makers, to talk about something that deeply personal to me, our planet, our future, and the role of art in all of it. I mentioned you about people, and I think the Antarctica is one of my favorite places because there is the only place that haven't been very affected by the humankind. I love people, but it's very hard to educate people about the issues that we have in.
All right, so you love people now. Don't just say that because people are looking at you. If you hate people, you hate people.
Yeah, you see the sign coming back.
I get your point. So backstage as well, you also had an interesting analogy. We can't use the words on television because, you know, apparently, we can't. But let's use a different analogy. Someone goes to the bathroom, but they go to the bathroom in the living room. You get my point? You understand what I'm saying? Someone goes to the bathroom in the living room where there are roommates, you're sharing an apartment with 5 or 6 people. One of you, I'm not going to say which one, goes to the bathroom in the living room where everyone's sharing the living room. And then, you know, people start realizing that the air is not the same, it smells different, but they ignore the scent. Artem, your analogy you use this analogy to describe our reaction to the climate crisis. Go more into that.
It's not just about the climate crisis, but many social issues that we have around the world today. Coming back to analogy, if you have 5 people living in the same apartment or building, instead of doing something, talking to your roommate or helping him with something, people just close their door and talk, it's not my room, it's not my issue, my room smells bad, it's good. But eventually the smell and the effect of that come back to you. But this analogy is same about the countries around the world that we have. Some has huge issues, and the other one, instead of helping, they just closing the door. But early or late, the effect of that issues for that country going to affect their neighbor as well. And this, we have this issue in the climate, education, and any other aspect in our life. All the country doing the same. There's only few countries around the world, they worry about their neighbors. But I think this is the bigger problem now we have.
Of course, and for this that, if you think about it, we do that every day. If we're driving in a car or we're walking on the sidewalk, you see someone smoke and then drop the butt on the floor. How do you react to that? Do you pick it up? Do you pass it straight? Do you tell the person, hey, you dropped this, you probably should not litter? Identify how you react to it, and maybe, you know, it can help us change those reactions in the future. So you use your photography, which is absolutely stunning. Your videos, your use of drone footage is beautiful. You have been doing this for a long time. follow him on Instagram. We'll get that handle for you in a minute. But talk about how you use photography to highlight what's happening in the world and what the feedback has been like. Do you get people coming up to you and saying, wow, this is amazing. I hope we can keep it this beautiful?
I think that nowadays, in the age of social pollution, digital pollution that we have on internet, today on Instagram is over 2.4 billion accounts. And only estimate 2 to 4% of the accounts provide any social benefits for the rest of the people. Is some education, or is NGO, or any organization. The rest of them is just entertainment or digital pollution. So when I produce something, I don't even consider it that I need promoted strongly in the social media, because it's very hard to get there. But the bigger problem is the actual social media platform. They promote something that don't educate people. Show me any platform that very popular educational videos. None. It's entertainment, something funny, something stupid that make people laugh and just keep scrolling for hours. So that's why I started to using an art as a medium, because when you have an art on the wall and you try to use the art to get to the people, you create something that people start have some feelings, emotion to that. And when people have emotions, people start care about their problem. And after that, maybe you have some policies coming afterwards to change something. That's why the last 5 years, I focus more on physical. For example, when we did a film, I wasn't focusing on promoting on social media as much as I went to many film festivals around the world, events and places where people come because they want to see environmental film or the film in any category, and then I had a great feedback. Because somebody spent 30 minutes producing video funny at home, and then they have 50 million views. I spent 2 years and hundreds of thousands of dollars to produce content, and it's get 50 times less. Because people want to see something which is just turn off their brain. So.
Your photographs are so beautiful, might I add, that I may forget that you have a message behind it. How can we be so sure that you don't also use Instagram, TikTok, whatever you use, to just gain followers, earn money, as opposed to telling the story? I mean, obviously you can do both, but what is your actual priority? What comes first?
Before, a few years ago, I used primarily social media to post. But then I realized that it's not just about photography, that is about more purpose behind it. And I start taking new photos, and before I take any photo, I'm thinking for myself, what emotions I can get from people when they look at it. Can they spend more than 5 seconds to look at it? Or can they question what the photographer trying to say with that photo? Because on the social media, you can get like, maybe comment, and people forget about that image in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
So I do art also for commercial purposes, but the last few years, I stepping out more from that into joining more using because it's very hard to use an art to show problems in the beautiful way. And if you show something ugly, people are not going to buy it. So it needs to be some combination, which is people see the beauty, but they also understand that if we don't do nothing about that, it's going to be not there anymore in 5 years, in 3 years, Antarctica, Alaska, or other side of the world.
So an interesting thing I see about your fine art photography is that while it is expensive, I couldn't afford it. I mean, many people here could not afford your photography. You do seem to target people, the elites, the people with money, but also the people who contribute most to the climate crisis. Do you think your photography, showing them stunning imagery of landscapes in Antarctica or the vulnerable penguins there across the world, in Argentina, do you think this changes their perception of the climate crisis and hence possibly even a tiny fraction of their actions?
I think that is a problem with two sides. The one, some of them contribute a lot to the problem. I sell my art to them for a lot of money, but then I use that money to do something to raise awareness about that. Because otherwise, if I sell very cheap art, where are I going to get money from to do this project, which was even the film self-funded. But also some of them, if they like the image, they pay a lot of money for the other purposes, because I have done many exhibitions that part of the proceeds go to the environmental organizations.
Yeah.
So they know they're not just buying beautiful art piece, they're giving something back, which is very important. So it depends on who I talk to, but exactly I targeting them because only they can either contribute financially or they can do some change.
Yeah. I would love you to teach us how to take the best photograph. Before I get to that, you mentioned earlier that the way we use social media is not only quite distracting to people who want to do good work, but quite often it's toxic. How do you filter through all of this to get your message across? There's so much out there. People with perspectives that just don't make sense. People with views that are harmful to the greater good. How do you get a beautiful photograph of an animal that we need to protect? Because this animal, in the natural chain of a circle of life, we need this animal or this plant or this landscape, otherwise we perish. How do you get your message across through all of this noise?
It's extremely hard to do it in social media because I still have a lot of followers, but every month, less and less I spend time on social media because it doesn't matter how much time you spend, and the problem, not just other creators that don't contribute anything beneficial. The problem, the social media, they push something which is good for them. You spend more time scrolling it. And if you look any photography, you have 10 times less engagement under their post than something entertainment. Or photography of something in the entertainment sexual character, which is very popular. That's why I use the art, and I do art exhibition. I put the art in any possible places that I can, or it's digital art, or it's physical art, because art, people pay attention. And I think the art is the only thing that lasts after decades or hundreds of years. We had so many different empires around the world, and only one thing that lasted today is an art. So that's why I think the art is the most important tool to do that. But still, social media nowadays, I post there, but I get very small returns, much less than I had 5 years ago when I was posting something more entertaining and less environmental. And the more I go into environmental issue now, the less engagement I get back. Okay. But I cannot even know, is the problem the audience or the problem the platform?
That's a good point. All right, we have probably a minute left. Who wants to be photographed by a world-famous photographer? Raise your hand. Sir, you raise your hand, please. Come on, please, come on stage, quickly. Come. Run. All right, Artem. You can use my phone. All right, you stay there, Artem. You come here, sir, or you stay there. Artem is going to teach us how to take the perfect photograph. So, what's your favorite animal?
Lion.
A lion. You have to act like a good lion, sir. Growl, move around, anything. All right, ready? So he's a lion in the no. Sir, come on, participate. So he's a lion, Artem. Act like a lion. All right. So this is your Mufasa. This is Pride Rock. All right. So begin acting like a lion, and he will take a photograph that will portray you as the most beautiful lion. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, okay. This is a difficult lion to work with.
Yeah.
All right. So this is the photograph. Which is your favorite out of all of these?
Well, the problem is every time I photograph animal, I do thousands of images and choosing one.
All right. So let's pretend these 3 images are 3,000 photographs. This is the best one. There's some headroom in here. There's some good lion action. So in case you'd like to know how to take a great photograph, Artem has taught you how to do so. Artem, thank you very much. A round of applause for Artem, please. Thank you so much, my friend. It's great meeting you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much to Lion. Guys, I believe another panel is coming through right now. Oh, we have a coffee break. So go have some coffee and then come back for more. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Artem.
Thank you.